Welcome to 32 and 32, where we count down.
Anyway, that's beside the point. At the end of the day, it's a business.
If you're the Rams, you are officially coming off the absolute worst performance in the Super Bowl ever. I think Robert Kraft is peas in someone else's pod.
I mean, y'all Super Bowl wins are so old. I mean, the rings are probably to dust right now. So,
Not about the Eagles today. We're talking about the Bears.
Yeah. So, as usual, let's take a look first at their free agent signings. Thanks for watching, folks. That is today's analysis of the Minnesota Vikings. All right. Welcome to 32 and 32, where we review one NFL team every day for 32 straight days, all leading up to the opening kickoff on Thursday Night Football. Today is
The Indianapolis Rockabye Baby Horses. It's playing Indianapolis Colts. That's like baby horse. I believe.
well, you know, it's like that joke they have. What do you call a horse with the number 45 on it?
Colt 45.
Yeah, there you go. Yay, he got it.
I can't believe I had to think about that for a second. I mean, come on now.
Anywho, Andrew Luck and the Colts. Guys, let's just be honest. Andrew Luck is the Colts. Everybody else is just kind of playing for
and
him.
it's kind of like, it's kind of a little bit of irony. The Indianapolis Colts, they, in my opinion, they are the dark horses of the AFC. And they proved that last season. I think they started the season off, 1 and 5. 1 and 5, and they ended up winning, their last 9 of their last
straight.
10?
9 straight. They lost the season final to
they beat Tennessee in the season.
They beat Tennessee in the
finale.
season final to claim the wild card.
But, I mean, Indianapolis, this was a team that I was very impressed with, especially under their first season head coach, Frank Reich. After the firing of Chuck Pagano, we're not going to get into that. But this Colts team, though they start off 1 and 5, and there are a lot of doubts about this team, and they really just got it together. Especially, with Andrew Luck, when I think this was his first full season back.
Yeah, it was his first full season back, and he actually played a full season for once.
And he looked pretty damn good.
He was actually in the MVP conversation for a little while, I want to say.
And that's actually saying quite a bit.
Yeah, he was a late addition, I think.
What I like was their defense last season, led by, then rookie linebacker Darius Leonard, who was taken second round out of the MEAC from South Carolina State. The Maniac.
Was he Rookie of the Year?
I think he was Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Defensive Rookie of the Year? Yeah.
I believe he
sure.
was, and he
got
he was the difference maker for that Colts defense.
He also got the Pro Bowl snub.
Yeah, he did.
Because if I remember correctly, he had something like 130 tackles on the season, something like that. Just some ridiculous number for a rookie.
He had ridiculous stats. But, that's just, because I've been following him since the South Carolina State days. And, because, I follow him on Instagram. And, this guy, let me tell you, he is a freak of nature. And, in my opinion, probably one of the best young linebackers in the league. So, the Colts, when he first got picked up, I knew that he was a steal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always enjoyed following the Indianapolis Colts for since they got Peyton Manning.
They're not the same team since since the real greatest show on turf. Remember the Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, and
excuse me, sir, that was the St. Louis offense.
I knew it was the St. Louis offense, but I don't like the Rams, so I'm gonna go ahead and say the Colts were the real greatest show on turf. Come on. You had Peyton Manning, you had Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark. Come on. Jeff Saturday at center.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's not forget the running backs.
Edgerrin James.
Yeah, Joseph Adai.
Yes.
Yeah, that 06 team was pretty solid.
They were just destructive.
Anywho, let's take a look at their free agency. Not very active. Devin Funchess and Justin Houston. Now, Houston.
Those are two huge pickups in my opinion.
Houston was a huge pickup. I kind of feel like Funchess is kind of the disappointment. I put him in the same boat as Watkins.
Really?
Yeah, you might be able to make the argument that it has something to do with the quarterbacks he's played with, because I know he played in Carolina for a while, and
under Cam Newton. But I mean, you look at let's look at Kelvin Benjamin. I mean, he was a draft pick from Florida State to Carolina, and when he left Carolina, he trashed Cam Newton about how he's not the most accurate quarterback that he played for, and he felt that Cam Newton was a guy that held him back. But I mean, come on, I mean, Cam Newton won MVP. You mean back? I think it was in 2015. I want to say the year that Carolina went to the Super Bowl. I mean, and come to find out, as time told, I mean, Kelvin Benjamin, I mean, in the Benjamin situation, Cam Newton wasn't the problem. He was.
Yeah. So I kind of, well, we'll see. We'll see what Andrew Luck can do with Funchess, because he was disappointing in Carolina. And where did he come from?
Oh wow.
Wasn't Buffalo. It's from the AFC, and it was from a team that didn't have much of a quarterback.
Well, that narrows it down.
Only 16 teams to pick from. Not named New England.
I'll figure it out. But still, I mean, I think Devin Funchess was a decent pickup.
I mean, he's decent. He's not terrible.
I mean, he does have some poise at receiver, and he does have potential to be that guy other than T.Y. Hilton to make plays.
I will give them. At least they're not bringing him in to be number one. I'll give them that.
No. T.Y. Hilton is the number one receiver. I mean, that's pretty much clear in Indianapolis.
But, I think Justin Houston was the better pickup over Funchess.
And that's going to pretty much further evolve their defense. Having Justin Houston out there on the defensive line, having Darius Leonard in the linebacking core.
I mean, they already got a solid front five.
Oh, and this Indianapolis team, I can really see them winning their division next season.
They will definitely give Houston a run for their money. And you still got to wait and see what Jacksonville does now that they got Nick Foles. So. And
also with Tennessee as well.
Yeah.
But then again, with Tennessee, it can go either way.
Right. So let's take a look at the draft. They had a lot of picks.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's a lot. Good Lord, that's a lot.
And I'm a bit surprised that their first pick, Rock Ya-Sin, a cornerback, I mean, first round, was it first round?
It was first round.
Al Temple. Now, Temple's just not a very... Temple's not a good team.
They're not, but I think the pick that really stood out to me was Paris Campbell out of Ohio State at wide receiver, adding more power to their receiving core. And I think Paris Campbell might be an immediate playmaker for the Colts come next season.
So I was looking down there. You got a linebacker named E.J. Speed. I'm curious, is he fast?
We'll find out.
Oh, just one of those names of irony.
It's just so ironic.
But again, we have a very strong focus on defense here. I almost kind of feel like they're starting to figure out what their identity could potentially be. I mean, yes, you got Andrew Luck on one side with T.J. Hilton.
T.Y.
T.Y. Hilton. Terrible.
I used to make that same mistake when I first started hearing about Hilton. I used to say T.J. Hilton. But then I really found out it's T.Y. I've never heard of anybody with the initial name T.Y. That's just, I mean, sometimes, and then after I found out it wasn't T.J., I would just say Ty Hilton. And yeah, I know you're just trying to shush me, but let me stop.
T.Y. Law.
Wait. Shut up, John.
I'm just saying. You just said you don't know anybody. It's just like, okay.
Look at John Morant. I used to say J.A. Morant because... Whose name is Ja?
His.
Y'all pray for me. I'm going to slap him. Y'all pray for me.
I'm just saying, you're like, I don't know anybody with initials T.Y. We're like, popular, cornerback for New England in their first, 2-3 Super Bowls?
But then again, it wasn't T.Y. It was just Ty.
Okay, point made.
Now we're off subject. Now we gotta get back on the subject. It's the Indianapolis Colts. This is their day.
Yeah.
Indianapolis Baby Horses Day, ladies and gentlemen. But honestly, I wouldn't even call them baby horses. They're the dark horses because they are this is the team that will surprise everybody. This is the team that can, if you want to look at any underdog team that could probably go all the way, it would be the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I was really pulling for them when they went up against Kansas City.
Was it Kansas City?
They lost to Kansas City in the AFC divisional round. They beat Houston in the wild card.
Right. Okay. That's right, because Los Angeles faced
Baltimore.
New England.
That was the divisional round, and the wild card round they went to Baltimore.
Right.
And they shut Lamar Jackson down.
Yeah, I was a bit really disappointed with the Colts in that loss to Kansas City. I thought they would be a lot more competitive.
I thought they would have been a lot more. I thought they would move the ball a lot better, considering because it seems that now Indianapolis they like where they're at as a team, especially adding the guys from the draft and adding 2 big pickups. I mean, I really think Devin Funchess was a huge pickup. I mean, because they do need to add depth to their wide receiver core, and then also getting Paris Campbell defensively. Of course, I mean how we just pretty much worship Justin Houston, how good he is. But I mean, he is one of the more formidable defenders in the league. I really do like where this Indianapolis team is going. It seems like they're heading into the right direction, and I do see them going. I mean, their ceiling. I would say their ceiling would be 13-3. Their floor would probably be, I would say 10-6.
13-3. That okay? Wow.
I mean, that's how much faith I have in this Colts team. But they have to. They got to jump out to a fiery start.
You know what would be ironic to me, and it's based on the moves they've been making lately and who they drafted the last few years, is that it almost seems like they're kind of making a shift to identify more as a defensive team than an offensive team, which is just, to me, completely ironic.
Indianapolis has never been the defensive team. They've always been the offensive crown jewel of the NFL.
I mean, they've had strong defenses in the past, but we're talking about the team where, Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, Johnny Unitas. I mean,
I mean, Andrew Luck is that type of caliber quarterback, but I mean, I feel that Andrew Luck has not hit his peak yet. And as good as Luck is, it's a scary feeling. And I feel that we're going to be seeing him hit his peak probably next season. He has the weapons. He has the confidence. He's healthy. I'm pretty sure him and Frank Reich are pretty much gelling with each other. I mean, it seems that this Colts team are all on the same page. They are all on one accord.
Are you thinking gelling like a felon?
Everybody pray for me because now I might kill him.
I mean, they could have some, shoals in their shoes.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, so you see the slipper right here, right? It might go across his face within the next few seconds. Just plain, I'm not going to hurt him like that. Yeah.
You sure?
Huh?
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
I'm not talking Magic Johnson positive, but I'm positive.
Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. Ow.
Oh, wow. I try to come with the jokes.
Okay, you know what? With that.